Yeah. All right. So first question, through your website, health and well, lifestyle influence. How long have you been doing it now?
So I've got a range of backgrounds really. I run a few businesses, and my health influence, if that is that the website you went to, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, yep.
Healthinfluence.com. So um, I mean, I've been running that for a few years now, but my health industry career really has been spanning more than 16 years. So I'm a qualified. Over there, you say doctor of osteopathic medicine, a DO, right? I think that's how it's translated into American. Slightly different concept over here, but I'm a qualified doctor of osteopathic medicine. I've been doing that for over 10 years now. But I've really ranged out into more the entrepreneur, the health and wellness, more on the sideline of what we do as osteopaths. So the healthinfluence.com is probably about 5-ish years, I'd say.
Okay. Right on. Very, very cool. Very cool. Um, 4 or 5 years. Okay. Um, what got you, interested in this? I mean, obviously you said you've been doing it for 16 years. So, I mean, was that always your main goal was to, you know, break into this type of industry, or did you want to go into more of just your own private practice, or?
Yeah, yeah. I've been through the whole range, to be honest. I've years even before I studied to become a practitioner in osteopathy or osteopathic medicine. I was in the health and wellness game anyway. I was a gym instructor. I was a sports coach, swim instructor. So it was always my game to be within the sports field and helping people with their health. Um, Becoming a practitioner, I went into private practice. I've run 2 practices by myself. I still have one now. It's just I very rarely run it because other businesses have kind of taken the ownership of what I do daily, and the online, the entrepreneur kind of way. But I still do practice, still run my own practice here. Health and wellness, health game has always been my passion to help people with their physical health, but now it's more physical and financial health, but the overall health and wellness of people.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's so cool that you're, doing that. And that's basically what I, like to look for in people is anybody who wants to help people and, help them better their lives in any type of different way,
Absolutely.
that's,
It's a great game to be in. My passion's always been to help people, so if I can do that in many different ways, then happy days.
yeah, absolutely. That's great. What ways can people follow you, and like, I know you have your, the health and wellness website, or health influence website. What other uh, ways do people follow you?
Yeah, so really the online game for me has been something I stayed away from a long period of time. I'm a big believer in word of mouth marketing. um,
Absolutely.
Within the health practitioner side of things. That's really the best way to do things. So I wouldn't say against social media when it first came into big fruition, but it's only been a few years since I've been more dabbling really and trying to engage more with people that way. I think it's a wonderful thing to have. So people engage with me now on my Facebook pages, Instagram, Twitter. As I think we first connected was Twitter. So I've been playing in the different spaces and seeing which one is not more beneficial for me, but which one I feel more comfortable with. So I also use things like Anchor and podcasts as well. So yeah, there's a few different lines that I've been utilizing to engage with followers.
Right on. Yeah, Anchor is one I checked out in the past, and I've thought about trying to start my own podcast on it, but
Yep.
it was when it first came up, and somebody had told me about it, and I played with it a little bit, but I didn't take it seriously enough, and now I'm like, man, I could have, really done something with that. So it might be something I have to, revisit here one of these days. And
Yeah, it's something I when it first came on board, I did exactly the same thing. I toyed with it for maybe a month, and then I just dropped it. Just didn't feel quite right. Kind of delved into it now and then, and did a few things, but in general, I looked at it again, not only just a few months ago, and they've completely changed the game for me, and it's a really great thing to use, and I've been using it ever since, because you can now upload to different podcasts, iTunes, etc. So it's a wonderful tool to use now.
Awesome. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to revisit it myself then.
I'd say revisit. They've really upped their game, so it's a great tool to use.
Great. All right. Well, what inspires you to keep going with this? I know a lot of people have issues with once they start on something, and I'm sure you see this every day too. Is you get on a track with something and you're convinced that this is your venture, you're going to go for it, and then you hit that day where you basically hit that wall, and you're just like, I'll go work at McDonald's. I'm sure you like that. I know I have. So I mean, what keeps you motivated in that?
What keeps me motivated is the long-term game. I've been an athlete my entire life. I've been playing, you call it soccer, at a very high level for years and years. I don't play so much now because of just my age, really. Kind of dropped out of it. But I'm still high in athletics, still do a lot of sports. And I really see what I've always done as an athlete over the years as a long-term game, a long-term prospect. And certainly working with health, I see that as the really way forward. There is no quick phase to getting fit, losing weight, being healthy, whatever it may be. Or I see business, I see running entrepreneurship as no different. It's really the long-term game for me. School for me, years back, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't get anything from it. I don't believe it was the way I should have gone. But it's not for everybody. It's for some people. It's not for others. I didn't understand that way. I was more of that entrepreneur mindset anyway. So for me, that motivation to keep going is that long-term goal of helping as many people as I can within my lifetime, and being able to create something for a legacy of younger people who are coming through, and that includes my not yet, but my possible family in the future and everything as well. So motivation's pretty high to keep going.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't believe in faltering. If something doesn't feel right, step away from it. But if you keep hitting challenges, then and you can see that long-term goal, then you've got to keep going. You got to keep getting up.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's, like I said, that's something I've struggled with, in the past. I know everybody does. Get that. With this venture that I've been working on now, I'm slowly getting it, but the more I work on it, the more excited I get about it, and the more motivated I'm getting for it. That's definitely, it's helping, and I'm really excited for everything now. So I think it's finally kicking in that, I can actually make this, work out, and I can do this. So hopefully that's staying.
And what I find is this feeling deep in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what keeps me going in certain ways, because it's that gut feeling of you're on the right path. There's many things I've done, many ways that I've turned down into, and they just haven't quite felt right. So I can stick at them. I can kind of maybe force my way through, but it's not what life is about for me. It's like, if you got that gut feeling that makes you feel good, that gives you that energy, that gives you that motivation to keep going forward, then stick with that gut feeling, I'd say. So it sounds like you're in that zone right now where it's giving you that more energy. It's helping you to push forward through the challenges. So stick with it, man. When it feels right.
That's right. Yeah. It's definitely feeling right. Well, what's your proudest moment, doing all of this? Has anything like struck out with you where you get that feeling where you're like, wow, I actually did this? And,
Yeah, it's actually quite recent. Because I've been just being in the social media zone and being more of the consultant outside of the clinic area that I know so well. I've been teaching with osteopathic medicine as well on postgraduate courses, but I feel like in the past 2 years my voice was starting to be heard but it was
Mm-hmm.
only at a very, very small level. And I was like, oh man, there's got to be, I've got something to say. I've got something to kind of bring out and tell the world. And I've been so quiet for so long. And actually, quite recently, it was in January 16th this year, I got asked to speak in front of a conference room of 700 people, which for me was like, I got completely taken back that I got asked to speak on health, nutrition, wellness here in New Zealand. And for me, that was it was a big moment for me to share my voice, for which I'd held back for so long. So, you know, that question you ask, it's a really recent one. There's been many defining moments, but I think seeing it as that longer term game, long term thinking, really for me was that moment happened, and I'd been working so slowly and quietly up to that moment, and you know, nothing was happening, and then I got asked. So I think keeping your head down and just getting on with the grind and the work really pays off in the long term.
Great. That's so cool. I couldn't even imagine. I think I would be terrified to speak in front of those people. But
Well,
you
you
know,
know, that was one of my goals too. For years back, as a kid, I used to pick up trophies for football. I remember it so vividly. And I didn't used to say a thing. I used to walk up on stage with my head low and like take the trophy and then walk off again. And my parents actually laughed at me the first time I said I was going to speak in front of a room of people, which was probably about 5 or 6 people. So for me, that was a massive goal, that I wanted to actually speak in front of a lot of people. So I guess I've ticked that box there. But before, I didn't ever think I'd be that person to step into that space. But you know, I guess the headspace turns differently when you start to look at what you do personally, to get yourself motivated and to improve yourself.
right on. Right on. Very cool. Well, I guess my last question is the big one is, you know, to my readers, my viewers and everything, what's the biggest piece of advice you can give to them when they're up and coming and, you know, just starting out and trying to, you know, break through into any industry, you know?
Yeah, it's a great question, and one I find that so many people are frustrated with finding their niche, finding their thing that they can do so well, and so frustrated with maybe having a job or a 9 to 5 or whatever or finding the right career. I think most people know what they love. I think most people know what their passion is, and if they don't, I think it only takes maybe just a few days of really listening to yourself to understand what it is. I found mine many years ago. I was very fortunate to find my passion, what I want to do. But I think most people know what they want to do. So I'd say just drive that as hard as you can. This life is far too short to sit in something, in a job, in a way of lifestyle, in a way of working or creating income, whatever it may be, that you're not happy in. And I've been there, I've done it. And it's not a nice space to be in. So finding that one or maybe 2, 3, 4 things that you're so passionate about, that you want to give creative thinking to, that you want to be positive about, that you want to put out there to the people and help other people to find, then just run with that. I think it comes down to that gut feeling again of, people know what's the right move. Just go ahead and do it. Like, this life is far too short and crazy to do otherwise. So run with your passion and run hard with it, because if you're passionate about something enough, then people will listen. People will you will be heard, and your time will come. 100%.
Great. That is 100% true.
Yeah.
You know, I said it any better than that. That's so great. Well, I mean, thank you so much, Neil. I greatly appreciate this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, this has been amazing. You know, definitely my first interview, you know, my first big one, and you know, I can't wait to, you know, post on it, and you know, hopefully, when I get my Anchor channel going and getting all that, I can have you back on. We can, do a live broadcast too sometime. And
Man, that would be fantastic. I've been really with the Anchor one. I've definitely been wanting to do more collaboration to actually interview people as well through Anchor. So definitely let's set that up. Be fantastic to connect with you further and see where this is going to take you as well. So I hope this has been kind of nice, motivating, inspiring, whatever you're looking for to go ahead with the interview. But more than happy to help. It's great to connect. We connected with Twitter. I don't even know how long ago it was, but it's great to find some people who are in the same mindset, in that same zone of finding their path and moving forward. So thank you.
All right. Well, again, thank you again. And, you have a great day.
Just starting.
Yeah. Mine's starting to wind down. And
oh, man. Well, you have yourself a great evening.
Yeah. And I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Absolutely. Will do. Hey,
all right.
Take care.